assassin down. Active camera ready.
Lightning strike on standby.
Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and today a giant update has been released for the PlayStation 4 to kind of prep everybody for the Awakening DLC. Now this update actually came with a bunch of different features. We're going to be discussing those here in this video, and it should be noted that this update is, at the time of me recording this video, not available yet on the Xbox One or the PC, though it will be coming to both of those platforms in the very near future. This update has brought with it a number of changes to the specialists, to the weapons, and even to the maps. Like, some of these maps are physically different as compared to what they were previously as a result of this update. So there's going to be a lot of information here in this video, and there's even more information in the official patch notes. And if you guys would like to go ahead and read those, there's going to be a link to it at the very bottom of the video description. It'll take you over to support.activision.com where you guys can read the official patch notes straight from the horse's mouth and get to read all of the information. For this video, I'm not going to be covering every little tiny update that they did with this patch because there was a ton of updates. I'm mainly going to be picking out what I believe to be the highlights for the multiplayer aspect of this patch, and hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy that. The first thing that we're going to be covering today is going to be that they did a balance pass to improve the XP earn rate consistency across all game modes, and they also did this for crypto keys. So what this says to me is they're trying to make it so game modes kind of make it so you earn XP consistently across the board. I never understood the idea that one game mode should warrant you more experience points than the other game modes, because that just makes it so you're punished for not playing a certain game mode. You're punished for playing the game mode that you enjoy playing the most. So hopefully that's what they're doing with this. The language they kind of gave us is kind of dodgy, so I don't really know exactly what they mean by it, but if you guys go ahead and let me know in the comments, have you guys been noticing that you're earning more XP in game modes that you traditionally earn less XP in, like free-for-all and team deathmatch, and even search and destroy? I mean, search and destroy back in the day was a game mode where you earned a ton of XP, whereas in Black Ops 3 it's a game mode where you really don't earn any at all as compared to some of the other ones. So let me know in the comments, has that been improved anyway, and are you guys noticing more crypto keys as a result? I would definitely be interested to hear about that. The next part of the update, they apparently have removed the ability to GSlide, although there are reports coming in that you can now do it in a different way. This is obviously something that competitive fans of Call of Duty are really passionate about. They want to know, are they going to be keeping GSlide, or are they going to be removing it? And there's also people on the other end of the spectrum that are kind of really into the idea of free running, because GSliding is a big part of free running as well, and getting the best times you can. They apparently have removed the ability to GSlide, although again, there are reports coming in that there is apparently a new way to do it, although I'm not clear exactly how they're doing it. Next up, we have combat records. So you can now view other players' combat records and compare stats with your friends via the combat record. This was inevitable. I thought it was going to happen, although I'm not so sure I wanted it to happen. At first, I was really for the idea of combat records. I love combat records. I love seeing all the stats and information. I've always been a big fan of that. But the idea of having a public combat record that anybody can see, I'm not sure if I'm a really big fan of that anymore, because if everybody can see your combat record, I think it's going to influence people to try to, camp for their KD a little bit more, or try using the try-hardy guns a little bit more, and maybe it's going to be changing how people want to play the game, whereas before they could play it however they wanted to because their combat record was private. Nobody could see any of that information, but now that people are going to have access to that information, I wonder if it's going to cause people to perhaps play differently, to play for their combat record a little bit more. We will have to see, but you now have the ability to view other players' combat records and compare stats with your friends via the combat record. Nuketown has had two major changes happening to it. So the head glitch spot that you guys may remember from the B flag and domination has been nerfed by adding in these boxes on top. You can no longer see over them, therefore you can no longer use them as a head glitch spot, as well as the blue car is no longer a head glitch spot either, because the car is now shorter and a lot more of your body is exposed if you are standing behind it. This is a giant update. They have nerfed two head glitches on Nuketown, which is probably for the best, all things considered. Although, to play devil's advocate, those head glitch spots were fantastic for trying to take people out of the window. And with those head glitch spots removed, I wonder if people being in the window are going to be even more powerful than they were before. We're going to have to see how that's going to go, but they in fact have changed Nuketown for the first time in many years. They have changed around Nuketown as a result of this recent update, and I think that's going to be fundamentally changing how people play on Nuketown, which is probably for the best, because to be honest, I don't really like the way people play Nuketown in Black Ops 3. It's not my cup of tea so much this year. I love Nuketown in previous games, but for whatever reason, I just don't find myself having as much fun on Nuketown here in Black Ops 3 as I did in Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2, and maybe this update will make it so I enjoy a little bit more. Moving on over to the specialists, we only had 3 little tiny changes to the specialists here. So Nomad has had increased stand-up time, so it's a slight slight buff for him. He's going to be standing up a little bit faster when he uses his rejack ability. The Reaper's footsteps volume is now going to be the same as the other specialists. Apparently it was louder or quieter. I don't know. I never noticed. And they have also reduced the leftover specialist power if you died while using the Ripper ability of the Spectre. So that's a little bit of a nerf. If you guys don't know, while using the Ripper ability, if you were to die while that ability was active, you would essentially have your specialist bar like be halfway filled up by the next time you spawned in. So it was actually very easy to get your Ripper ability again. And that's something that they kind of saw as a design flaw and they wanted to nerf it a little bit. So they did. And it's their game, so I guess they can do what they want. Moving on over here to the weapons. Rapid fire has apparently been quote unquote fine-tuned across all weapons. We didn't get too much information as to what that means. Are they making it so it's better, making it so it's worse, making it so it's more consistent? Like what exactly? I don't know. They said it's been fine-tuned, whatever that means. The XR2 assault rifle, the ICR assault rifle, the Sheba assault rifle, every single light machine gun, as well as the Locust sniper rifle have all received increased ADS aim stability, which I'm assuming is going to make it so it's a bit more stable as soon as you pop into aim down sights mode, which is going to make it so all those weapons are a little bit easier to use. Although I must admit, all those weapons are already pretty easy to use, so I don't know why they keep trying to make them better and better and better. The XR2 now has increased recoil control, which means that we're going to have less recoil on the XR2, which as somebody who finished up all the gold challenges for the XR2 this past weekend, that weapon doesn't need any buffs, man. That weapon's insanely good, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite weapons in the game. The Argus and the KRM-262 have both gotten an increase to their lethal damage range. Now, exactly what this means, I don't know, because they've apparently buffed this stuff up in the past, and it turns out to really not be anything of note. It's kind of like a placebo effect, and it just increases the range at which you can get a hit marker. Like, I don't know exactly what this means. I'm hoping that this means that the Argus and the KRM-262 are more consistent, like the KSG and the Remington A70 from Black Ops 2, and they're going to be getting more consistent one-hit kills and things of that nature. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying out those weapons after this update. Let me know in the comments if you guys have messed around with either one of these weapons so far and what you guys think of them. Moving on down here to Scorestreaks, the Cerberus AI has been nearly universally buffed. They have increased the targeting speed, the accuracy, and the damage when it's in AI mode, as well as they made it so the rockets are more accurate and just better in general while it's in AI mode, which is good because as somebody who has been using the Cerberus a bit as of late, I throw that thing down and it just rolls around doing nothing. Like if you, I think if you guys have seen it in some of my gameplays, like I'll be playing on Aquarium, I'll throw it down outside kind of by the sea flag, like in that area, kind of expecting it to kind of like roll around, do its thing, head inside. It doesn't do that. It just kind of spins around circles, does nothing, doesn't even look for people. It's like, okay, well, now I need to like go ahead and control this thing and bring it in towards where the P flag is so it actually can do something, you know. So they've actually apparently made it so the AI is universally buffed, and they're hopefully going to be making it so the Cerberus is a little bit better, which is really nice. I like throwing down these Scorestreaks that are kind of fire and forget. You know, I like throwing down like a Cerberus or a Raps or putting down a remote sentry or something like that, which will make it so I can just put down my Scorestreaks and they can just do their job, just go out there and get kills while I'm also running around and getting kills. I like that. You know, if I put up a Talon, I like leaving it in AI mode so it just flies around and gets me kills while I'm also running around shooting people, getting kills myself. So I'm a big fan of those kind of like fire and forget Scorestreaks, and to buff up a Cerberus is good news in my opinion. The Hellstorm has been buffed apparently, namely its damage radius, its projectile speed, and its targeting radius, and the GI unit now lasts 90 seconds, which of course is a buff. And that's about it for these Scorestreaks. That's just about it for all the big multiplayer changes. Now, one thing to note about how Treyarch is doing their updates this year is some of this stuff also came in already, right? So they're doing a really weird system where basically they implement these little tiny hotfixes here and there until they release a giant update like they did today on the PlayStation 4, and then they give us really all of the information all at once. Some of it was part of this update, some of it was some of the previous hotfixes. I really don't know. I can't tell what was already here, what was just added today. It's very confusing how they're doing things this year. Like, for example, the Hellstorm being buffed, I'm pretty sure that was from a recent hotfix, although that could be part of this patch as well. That could be even better. I don't know, guys. But if you guys, once again, let's go ahead and read the full patch notes. There's going to be a link down there at the very bottom of the video description. It'll take you over to support.activision.com, which, of course, Activision is the publisher of Call of Duty. It's straight from the horse's mouth. It's right there on the official website. And from there, you guys will be able to read all of the updates, all of the little notes from this patch, including the changes to the campaign, to the multiplayer, to the zombies, to everything in general. There's been a ton of little tiny changes here and there, and I didn't want to bore you guys all covering every single little tiny minute detail here in this video. I picked out the things I believe are the highlights for the multiplayer, and I hope you guys all enjoyed the video for it. So once again, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Drop me a rating and let me know in the comments how you guys are digging this update so far, and if you guys would like to change anything else while Black Ops 3, like what thing in particular would you like to change while Black Ops 3 that maybe wasn't featured featured here in this update. Let me know about that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Drop me a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.